guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. And over the past weekend, we saw the first trailer to the brand new Batman movie that will star Robert Pattinson. And one thing that's really interesting is whenever we see an actor jump into the role of a character, it's always really interesting to kind of get an idea as to where the actor's head is at before going into the character and before this movie essentially releases, where for a while at least Robert Pattinson will be the new Batman, at least in some form of a series with the DCEU. We may have multiple Batmans at the same time, but nonetheless there's so much hype about Robert Pattinson being Batman and just the aesthetic that goes into this new Batman that we're really excited to see what the future holds. But what does Robert Pattinson himself actually think? Well, today we wanted to take a look at things that Robert Pattinson has said in the past about Batman and taking on this role, because there's really a lot of interesting things that he's said that can make this Batman be one of the most unique portrayals of Batman to date. And real quick, before we jump into even more of these awesome references, we wanted to give a huge shout out to our Instagram page. If you guys didn't know, we just passed over 8,000 followers over on Instagram, so we'd really appreciate if you guys headed over to our Instagram, scrolled through some of our posts, maybe hit the like button and followed us over there. We do a lot of really interesting content if you love comic books, the MCU, DCEU, whatever it is. If you just like movies, it's a really cool page. We've been working really hard on it, and it would mean the world to us if you went over and checked it out as well. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, one thing that's great right away is that Robert Pattinson actually revealed some hilarious Batman advice directly from Christian Bale, who played Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy.
I saw Christian being asked it, and he was talking about needing a space. He was like, figure out a way when you go to the bathroom. And I was like, advice taken.
So there's already Oscar buzz for this film. How does that make you feel?
To me, from finding the script to making the movie, I mean, it's kind of quite aggressively different.
Then we've also seen this video in the past of Christian Bale giving advice for Robert Pattinson directly in a video.
Robert Pattinson about to take on Batman. Do you have any advice for him with taking on this iconic role?
Good for him, just make it his own, don't listen to the naysayers at all. Think about it, everybody protested when Heath was cast as the Joker. Look what an absolutely brilliant performance he gave. Don't listen to those guys, do his own thing. He's a fascinating actor, he's a great...
It's really interesting to dive in deeper into some of the reasons why Robert Pattinson wanted to play Batman in the first place.
There's something that always appealed to me about it. I feel like it sort of exists outside the realm of... I feel like the sort of... Batman movies have always attracted really, really good directors and kind of really good actors playing it, and it's got a legacy and a lineage to it, which is, it's never seemed to me like it's been just a cash-in.
And another interesting thing when we're looking at the scope of the universe of DC, especially in the movies, it's cool to see what Robert Pattinson thinks about when he was asked what he would have done or how he would have felt playing Batman back before Ben Affleck was casted as the character for the DCEU.
When we had a script, it was a whole thing. You know, really what it was for me was, and I like the script, I wrote it with Jeff Johns, who I have a lot of respect for. It just so happened that, like, I had done a couple of those movies and I kind of lost my passion for it. You know what I mean? Kind of lost my passion for telling those stories. I got interested in telling stories more like this, and it just seemed like...
Then in this interview, we get to see Robert Pattinson talk a little bit about how eager he was to play Batman.
Not really.
You wanted to do Batman, so you sought out the part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, not like sort it out.
No, but you were like
directly,
interested.
But I was interested.
You're
in
like,
it.
if they're going to do another Batman, I want to do it, or you knew they were going to do another one.
I knew they were doing another one, and
Okay.
then it's just really appealed to me. It's a different feeling when you do something when you kind of know that there's an audience who has.
Yeah.
There's an anticipation from an audience that's already there, and it's a different kind of pressure.
And while we're looking at actors giving advice for other actors playing roles, Matt Damon actually chimed in to give some advice to Robert Pattinson.
He doesn't need any advice, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he really is.
And
he's fantastic.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And the whole point of that
is that it's bigger than any one actor, you know, go and have his own take on it.
This next one is really interesting because we get to look all the way back at the first time Robert Pattinson ever talked about wanting to play the character.
Yeah, I mean, like, Batman was really the only kind of superhero who I really had any kind of connection with when I was growing up. I mean, and really, yeah, from the Tim Burton ones. I mean, I just kind of was obsessed when I was a kid. I don't know. I mean, it's very, very, very daunting. It's weird. I'm quite glad I'm doing Chris's movie right now because I've got something else to be nervous about. So I haven't got enough anxiety space.
And then in this interview, we actually got to look at some of the challenges that he faces when trying to tackle this character.
Even my agents were like, because I was very, very focused on it. I don't know why. It kind of just kept coming back into my head. And I was working quite a lot over it. I mean, this is like probably like 2 years ago. And even my agent was like, really? Because I normally, it's not really...
You wanted to do Batman, so you sought out the part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, not like sort it out.
No, but you were like
directly,
interested.
But I was interested.
You're
in
like,
it.
if they're gonna do another.
We've also seen him react to some of the nicknames that Batman and himself get combined.
Are we doing our bats or are we doing Pattinson? I need to know.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm trying to avoiding nicknames.
Come on.
And he's actually talked a little bit about some of the inspiration that he did for coming up with the perfect voice for his character.
Have you practiced the Batman voice? I know Willem Dafoe's voice in this movie is like almost kind of sounds like the gritty.
Yeah, I'm sort of Willem's voice in this is quite inspiring for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm kind of it is pretty similar the voice I'm gonna do
Yeah.
to Willem's.
Do you have any? Have you practiced it? Was that the laugh?
It's like I think Batman has sort of kind of piratey kind of voice. I think that really suits it.
Of course, going into the character, there's a lot of training that is needed, and apparently he's kind of gone on a specific Batman diet to get ready for the role.
Yeah, and it kind of, I'm glad. I used to hate working out, and like there's something, it's weird. In my 30s, I really like it now. I find it very meditative. It's weird when you feel like someone's not forcing it on you and you're doing it for yourself. It's a very different experience. But I sort of love working out now. So I'm weirdly looking forward to it.
Really?
Yeah.
And then we've also gotten some really interesting looks about just the overall preparation that goes into preparing for a character like this.
I wanted to know whether you've thrown Robert a Welcome to DC Universe party yet. A Welcome to the DC Universe party yet. Now that he's officially the Batman, so.
Yeah, the Batman.
Yeah. Where's the party? You both are in there.
I almost said something that I didn't regret.
Say it!
It's a punchline to an old joke.
We got a short clip showing exactly what the Batman voice may sound like.
You scared me.
I was trying to. I thought you liked that. No, it should be the other thing that you scared me. I'm Batman. Your safety.
But real quick, if you want more content like this on maybe a faster basis, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. There's a link in the description down below. We post a ton of content over there. Okay, let's go back to the video. But of course, it's really exciting to see that a unique actor like Robert Pattinson is going to be taking on this role in the future, and it must have been a very, very intense casting call. But it is interesting to see what it's really like for Robert Pattinson to finally get that job.
Yeah, I mean, like, Batman was really the only kind of superhero who I really had any kind of connection with when I was growing up. I don't know, I mean, it's very, very, very daunting.
Where were you when you learned that you were going to be cast as the next Batman?
I think my first day with Chris Nolan.
So what do you guys think of this actor jumping into the role of Batman? There are a lot of people who are skeptical, but after seeing the trailer, things were looking really promising. Do you think that the trailer will be a good representation as to how the movie looks? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe to notifications on for more videos like this, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
See you guys.